Mad? You say I'm mad? No, no. I have been ill. Yes, very ill. And the disease has sharpened my senses. Above all, it has sharpened my hearing. Yes, it is very acute. Even now I can hear... But wait. Let me tell you the story. Mad? Then listen how calmly I can tell it to you. It is impossible to tell you how the idea first entered my brain, but once I conceived it, it haunted me night and day. Purpose? There was none. Passion? No. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me. He'd never given me insult. His gold? I had no desire for it. What was it then? It was his eye. Yes. That was it. His eye. He had the eye of a vulture, a pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it looked at me, my blood ran cold. So, very gradually, I came to a decision. I would rid myself of that eye forever. I would kill the old man. Why will you say I'm mad? Madmen know nothing. But you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded. The caution, the foresight, the pretense with which I worked. I was never kinder to the old man than during the whole week before I killed him. How did I do it? Yes, of course I shall tell you. That night, just about midnight, I went to the door of his bedroom. I turned the latch and opened. Oh, so gently. I stepped in with a lantern in my hand. Slowly, stealthily, I let out a simple, thin ray, like the thread of a spider. The light spread out from the lantern and fell upon the eye, the vulture eye. It was open, wide open. I grew furious as I gazed upon it. I saw it distinctly, that dull blue, that hideous veil over it, that chilled the very marrow of my bones. I could see nothing more of the old man's face, just that eye, that evil eye. Then I heard it. I told you that my sense of hearing was sharpened. There came to my ears a low, dull, quick sound. I knew it well. It was the sound of a heartbeat. Yes, it was the beating of the old man's heart. I could hear it. I could hear it. The beating grew louder, still louder. What if the sound were heard by a neighbor? I knew then that the old man's hour had come. With a loud yell, I opened the lantern full. I leaped toward him. He cried out. Once, only once, I dragged him to the floor and pulled the heavy bed over him. The deed was almost done. Yet the heart beat on with a muffled sound. At length, it ceased. The old man was dead. I lifted the bed and examined him. He was dead, stone cold dead, but over his heart, nothing. Yes, he was dead, and his eye would trouble me no more. Mad? You still think me mad? Would a madman have been so wise in concealing the body? I took up 3 planks from the floor and buried the old man's body beneath them. Then I replaced boards so cleverly, so cunningly, that no human eye, no, not even his, could have detected anything wrong. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, I was finished. Suddenly, it was the street door. Who could it be at this hour? I went downstairs. I had a light heart. what had I to fear now? I opened the door. There were 3 men.
We're the police.
A neighbor called us, and she heard a shriek and called the police station. Is there anything wrong here?
Wrong? Wrong? Why, no, of course not.
We have been sent to search the premises.
Why, of course. Do come in.
Can you account for the shriek?
Yes, of course. It was my own. I had a bad dream.
Where is the old gentleman who lives here?
He's away in the country. Come, let me take you about the house. By all means, search. Search well.
Thank you. We shall.
I took my visitors all over the house. At length, we had 1 room left.
What is this room?
It is the old gentleman's bedroom. Come in, see? There's nothing disturbed here. All is in order.
It appears to be.
Gentlemen, you must be tired from your search. Come, sit in here for a moment. We gathered chairs in the old man's bedroom. My triumph was perfect. Here, of all places, with the old man buried beneath this very floor, I, too, took a chair and placed it directly over the spot where his body lay. The officers seemed satisfied. I had convinced them, by my manner, that nothing was amiss. We chatted away, but before long, I felt myself growing weaker, paler. I wished them gone. My head ached. I fancied a ringing in my ears. Still they sat and chatted.
Well, everything seems to be in order here.
The sound grew louder. It became more distinct. It continued and grew still faster, still clearer. I talked more freely to get rid of the feeling, but it continued until I found that the noise was not just within my own ears. It grew louder. I looked at the officers, but they did not hear it. What was it? I could not place it, but it kept on. I talked more quickly, more loudly, but the sound increased. I stood up. I talked about trifles. I waved my arms about to distract the officers, but they seemed not to hear the sound I heard. When would they be gone? I paced the floor to and fro. The noise steadily increased. I foamed. I raved. I swore. The noise grew louder, louder, louder. And still, the men chatted away. Could they not hear it? No, that was impossible. Surely they heard, they suspected, they knew. They were making a mockery of my horror. Agony. Anything was better than that. I could bear it no longer. I felt I must scream or die now. Villains! Pretend no more. I admit it. I admit the deed. Tear up the planks. Here. Only stop the beating of his hideous heart.